Commitment 2024 coverage now. Today, Vice President Kamala Harris is set to announce her running mate. It really could happen at any moment this morning. She officially secured the Democratic presidential nomination overnight.
And she is set to campaign alongside whoever that person is during a rally in Philadelphia today. So now we have Burward Yost from Franklin and Marshall College joining us live. We were expecting this announcement, kind of hoping that it would come down during our show this morning. But since it has not yet, who is your pick? Who do you think that she will select?
Well, it's clearly down to two folks, Tim Walz and Josh Shapiro. I think strategically, given Governor Shapiro's popularity in this state, his ability to appeal to more moderate voters, and the value or the importance of Pennsylvania to Democrat success, to winning the White House, to me, Shapiro is a logical pick for a lot of reasons.
And you've done polling for the governor's races when Shapiro was running.
Yes.
And saw some of those pockets of rural parts of the state, more
Right.
Republican parts of the state that he was able to win over. Is that something, you know Pennsylvania well, could a candidate like that duplicate what happens in Pennsylvania in other parts of the country, or is that a Pennsylvania-specific dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, look, I think he's shown an ability to appeal to kind of working class, moderate voters, people outside of the traditional Democratic base. And so I think that appeal could apply anywhere, really. Now, people are voting for president, we all know that. But by choosing a vice presidential candidate wisely, you are signaling the way you're going to govern. And Shapiro's perspective is a bit more moderate than hers, and I think that signals to voters that she's interested in having or thinking about issues a bit more broadly than perhaps she would if she had another pick.
And next week, we may have a better feel of what voters in Pennsylvania actually think,
Yes.
because you're doing some polling right now, even though we don't even know the candidate yet.
Yes.
You can slip that question in there, or how does that
Well,
work?
yes, that's right. We've got the poll set up so that we're asking questions about presidential preference right now. So if we see a change after the vice presidential pick is announced, we'll be able to suggest that maybe that had some influence on whichever way the polling goes before and after the announcement.
And as for polling, I mean, when it was just a race between former President Trump and current President Biden, it really had been quite stagnant for quite some time.
Yeah.
But you're seeing changes now that it's
Well,
Harris.
we are. I mean, the race was stagnant for a long time, probably from early January, February, up through the debate. After the debate, the numbers started to diverge, and it looked like former President Trump was starting to have a real advantage. Since the announcement of Biden's withdrawal, the lines have come back together again. And in fact, some trends indicate that Kamala Harris has a slight advantage at this point.
And we will see the latest poll from Franklin and Marshall College next Thursday. That's when
right.
those numbers
That'll
are
be
out.
published.